a piece of plexiglass that used to cover the stained glass to protect it inside. There's also one for outside. So what I've discovered is that plexiglass can be cut with the oscillator. It's not pretty, but it works. Yay. Can't wait to take care of that. I thought this was worth filming. Got the tarp back up. Tomorrow's going to rain all day, so I'm preparing for the last stage, which is put up the foam. I may put that up today. I also have to fix my bed frame that broke. But I thought this was worth taking a shot of. Here's where I had an issue. My main support beam, and my wood didn't line up, so I had this big gap running right down here. And you could see my wood structure, my 2x4s behind it. And obviously the rain was going to run right down that thing, even though it will have foam and vinyl siding on it. It wasn't impossible that rain would sneak in there and would drip right into this and go right into my nice 2x4s, which were probably weatherproofed or whatever. But I solved that. I ran out of caulk, like silicone, what do you call it? I can't remember. Regular house caulk. And so all I have left is pure silicone. I plugged up this gap. I plugged up that gap. I surrounded them with silicone, which is super duper waterproof and durable. So I'm pretty confident that all of that's waterproof around there now, and all around there. And with what I had left, I just squirted huge amounts of blobs in there. Big blob, took my finger, smoothed it out, and then used this to get way into the cracks at the bottom. And it actually smoothed out really nicely. And I'm fairly certain no water's getting in there. That silicone will be there for a long, long time. Sorry I didn't film my putting this up, as exciting as I'm sure that would have been to watch. We gotta quit for today. Well, gotta quit for today for a bunch of reasons. And this is the main one. This was put together pretty shabbily. Underneath this was the original house siding, you know, put shingle style on there before they put this, you know, aluminum on top of it, vinyl on top of it. It's been a long day. So basically there was a piece of foam. It was the original siding, wood, and then they put a piece of foam on top of that, and then they nailed this onto through the foam and onto the old wood. So there's all kinds of gappage in a lot of spots. Actually, this is pretty tight, I guess. Looks like basically the way this works is there's enough room for the piece of foam and then these things. That's the space right there. So when you see right here, there's no foam. Right here, the foam is, you know, correctly distanced where there's foam, and then this thing. So what does that mean? That means that even though I just put all of this on there, it's still not thick enough. I have to buy at least 2 more pieces of this, 8-foot pieces, so that they go across here, and this one's just going to have to float a little bit. There's just going to have to be a little space if I'm going to get all the way to here because of my new support beam. Buddy over here. Alright. Here's the situation we find ourselves in. Alright, somehow, if you make this level, there's a ton of space showing at the bottom, and it doesn't line up with these. So that looks terrible. So, I don't know what to do about that. I can't believe it used to be like that. And also, I can't believe that it was all the way down like this and not level. In case you don't believe me. So for it to be level, it needs to be up like that high. Down like this, not level. So that being the case, when it gets up here to my totally level windowsill, we're gonna have a crazy gap. So what I'm doing is I've taken this piece, I cut it straight because it used to not be straight, and that's how all the water was, one of the reasons all the water was getting in. Not to mention it just comes flowing off of this broken gutter right down onto the side of the house. Might have to JB weld that up and see if I can fix that. So what I'm doing is I've cut this straight across. It's level. And I'm going to try to build in either direction, even though that's not how you're supposed to put this stuff together. You're supposed to start at the bottom and go to the top. That way everything, you screw this part down and you link the top part on. And screw that down, then you link the top part on. But I can't see any other way to do it. If I put this here, then I can get this piece to fit, and we'll see what happens when we get back down here. Whew. Boom. So, had to cut a little more off the side. Basically, this part's just not screwed down. No big deal. It's still waterproof behind there. Far, far more waterproof than it was. And once I fix this stream of water onto the side of the house, it's very seldom gets rained on super duper hard. It's underneath a huge tree. So this is what you want. This is how you screw these things down. And you go in reverse order so you can actually see that part, and then hook the other, thing over the top, over the lip here. I just noticed that I had this piece and it's slotted right in there, which is kind of nice. It's better than the way it was going to look, where you could see the edge. So that's looking pretty tight. Now to see if we can reverse engineer it and somehow maybe pull this back and slip some screws in there. Let's see what happens when we get to the bottom with that level issue. Boom. Wasn't that hard to shimmy it in there. I just left it alone at the bottom, close enough for me. Nobody can tell that's not perfect. And as far as how did I tack it down without being able to get behind here, well, that was real hard. I just put some secret screws down low. Can't see them anyway. There's another one over there somewhere, and one right in the middle. That's it. 1, 2, 3 screws. It's all locked together anyway, so it's not going anywhere. Now I have to cut a piece of foam for that. I have one more piece, should be just enough. I used that because I'm out of foam and I wanted it to back the vinyl siding and be even and not be, flapping off the side of the house. You'll see this in a future video. Alright, let's get a little lunch and finish the deal. This is a nasty little spot that water's going to go in, obviously, so I'll have to figure that out too. Alright. This is worth looking at. So as mentioned, one reason why this was getting crushed by water, you know, more than it would be if it were just getting rained on, protected by a giant tree like it is because of this right here. I'll just see if I can remember that I'm on a ladder and not fall off. But keep my hand out of the way. Here's where the gutter is compromised. So that's not supposed to be separate, it's supposed to be together like that. And as wet and dirty as that is, that does not look like it's either going to be taped or JB welded back together. So the thing to do really is not fall off of the ladder. We've come all this way. Is to get, that looks like a little bit smaller than the bit that I have. Let's pull this whole gutter off, clean it, maybe see if it can be fixed once I get it on the ground. That'll be for a later day. Still a problem. Probably, yeah, it's just dripping right now. And this little hole right here is exactly where that water's going if something isn't done. I mean, I'm going to cover this up with the vinyl siding and the water will run off of that, and on down here it'll want to go over here, it'll want to come down here and get under here, which is the original problem. It caused this whole wall to come down. I can't believe it. The tools are cleaned up and the nightmare is over. The tarp and the cinder blocks are off the roof. I fixed this nasty little part. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. Not a ton of rain gets back here anyway if it weren't for this bad gutter. Ooh, right into a table. Top of all this good stuff, I reinstalled the plexiglass on the outside. I don't know why they had it like that in the first place, but that is just glass. I took the screen off, so in case a big bird flies into it, it wants to break some glass. It's got plexiglass on it now. Anything else to say about this? I don't know. Pretty proud of this job. You can see a little bit of my insulation up there. Yeah, this is kind of funny. This is just the biggest piece of plexiglass I had. Kind of a long story, but close enough for me. It's all clean. It's better insulated. It's got a brand new wall behind it. It's all framed up. I just got to fix that gutter. Yeah, I thought I was going to have to paint over this wood support beam here, but nope, this piece covers everything up beautifully. Not, you know, nearly professional. And that's just the outside, because this is done too. There's my new piece of tin roofing. Pretty tight job in the corner. Not really easy to get these things to line up perfectly like that and be so tight that they're waterproof. This was an issue at one point. No water's getting through there. When in doubt, use silicone. It's super durable and super waterproof. That's closed cell foam. Closed cell foam. The water's getting in there. This is my new shelf. Bigger, thicker piece of wood, angled down so the water rolls off of it instead of backwards into a puddle. And here's my inside plexiglass, framed in there. Far prettier than it used to be, and totally waterproof, so there's not going to be any spider life happening there anytime soon. This cracked in the process, because it's a 10-year-old piece of plexiglass. What are you going to do? But luckily, we sort of chose a, I would call it rustic contemporary style. Get a little bit better light. There's my light that I fixed, my fan that I fixed. Anything else to mention here? Here's my pink flamingo. There's me, and there's my... Oh! Arizona landscape. It's kind of turning into an artsy bathroom at this point. My brother's artwork, forming a T-gestalt. I was thinking about doing a little black and white vignette right there of maybe like a swamp with some Spanish moss. But this is plenty for now. It's almost like it never happened. We can shower, we can enjoy the stained glass, and we don't have to look at an ugly tarp. And we don't have to worry about the wall falling down one day, which it was on its way to doing. Alright, nothing left to do now but document it. And get back to building boats. Or maybe something else. We shall soon see. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Oh, I can't tell you how good it feels to come around this corner and not see this covered up with a big ugly blue tarp for the first time in 2 months. What a relief.